name is Jessica Perez, and I'm Director of Strategy at College Board. College Board is a nonprofit that was founded to expand access to higher education through a variety of products that we offer, like our SAT exam and our AP courses. Before I jump into my keynote, I first of all want to congratulate all of you for what you've accomplished so far. From what I understand, it was a very rigorous selection process, and you earned your spot here, so you should be very proud. Not many people get the opportunity to do research at the high school or undergraduate level, so big props to you for putting in that work and getting to this point here today. Research is super dear to my heart because it really transformed my life, and I've also seen research transform the lives of so many students that I've worked with over the years. So I'm really excited that you've taken that step to get involved in this extracurricular activity. And what's exciting is that this is just the start of your education journey. You have so many options moving forward. And as you continue to think about what that looks like, I want to share a little bit about my own life experiences, my relationship with research, and the lessons that I've learned along the way to hopefully help you as you choose and go along your education journey. For some background, I'm originally from Texas in the U.S. I'm an American of Mexican descent, and I'm the first in my family to graduate college. So with that, there's a lot of challenges in that education journey, but the whole time I've always been really driven by my passion and curiosity about the world, and I think that's what really helped me with success along the way. When I was young, I was always interested in biology, how nature works. For example, it always fascinated me how just with a simple seed, you could plant that, and it has all the information to program a tree to grow and build this very complex structure, all these branches and leaves, and it responds to temperature and by changing colors of the leaves, and it responds to light by moving the branches towards the light to get more light. That was really interesting to me, and over time I was like, I really want to understand what is going on there. Later I learned it was about genetics and epigenetics, and I went on to study more about what that means. But essentially, it was curiosity around nature and making an impact with other people that really drove my education journey. So because of my interest in biology, I went on to pursue a biological engineering degree at MIT. And if you aren't familiar with MIT, it's a very rigorous engineering school. And of course, I was really excited to go. But when I got there, I was very shocked because it was hard, really hard. Math and science was always something I was very good at. And going to a place where I was barely passing my classes really shook my confidence and really actually my identity, because as a high achieving student, my identity was so wrapped into being that A student. And so I really had to think carefully about who am I and what is my value in the world. And so I kind of came to understand that at the end of the day, I just really want to impact people's lives, and my role on this earth is to do that, and biology is one way for me to do that. And so I think my saving grace was probably sophomore year when I found an undergraduate research opportunity in a genetics lab at Harvard Medical School, and that really changed everything for me. It was something that really helped me see how you could apply the knowledge of biology to impact the world or impact people. So for this genetics lab, it was a Drosophila lab, essentially fruit flies, studying the genetic pathways in fruit flies to try to find a cure for cancer. And even though I was working on a tiny little piece of that problem, it was really exciting to be able to potentially impact human health. And so I threw myself into that project. I really got good at some of these dissections, the technical methods of the work. I stayed late. I talked to the researchers there, asked for extra help. I asked for extra reading. And I found I was really good at it. And it was cool because it was like, no one knows I got a C in genetics, but I am like one of the best undergrads in this genetics lab. And that's because I don't know, I was very passionate about it. And I took all the extra steps that other people wouldn't take to go find mentorship, go find support, go ask for extra help. I think that was really what helped me succeed in undergrad. And through that, I learned that I really want to dive deeper into research. And with that, I decided to pursue a PhD in chemical and biological engineering at Northwestern. And there I got really deep into it and tried to understand how we could apply the knowledge to impact human health. And so in that case, I was studying bacterial cells and trying to figure out how we can engineer genetic programs to teach bacterial cells how to make medicines for humans. And this was really fun. It was, again, outside my comfort zone. I really had to push myself to ask for help in a lot of different ways. But it really gave me a good foundation into research methods, as well as some of the soft skills involved. So yes, I had to do a lot of reading and a lot of understanding of genetics and engineering and biochemistry. But at the same time, I also had to be really good at communicating my work, collaborating with others, really utilizing teamwork to work on these multidisciplinary projects. So I really threw myself into it. And I think the soft skills developed that were really great. In addition to that, I also was drawn to give back to my community. I was working in the lab, and I noticed not a lot of people looked like me. I was, in terms of being female, being Hispanic, a person of color, first-generation college student, and I didn't understand why. I felt like, yes, I'm smart enough, I guess, to be here, but it's definitely not the smartest out there. And there are others that could have gone this path, but weren't able to succeed. Why is that? And so I started being able to apply some of my research skills into the education space. And that's where I spent a lot of my time during my PhD as well as post-PhD, trying to understand what sort of education interventions can we create to help students be more successful in school. And what we found is research is actually one of those that really helps students be successful in STEM majors. And so that kind of led me down this new path of education, spending all this time testing different programs, first in an engineering research center at Illinois, and now at the College Board in a nonprofit setting. And some people find that very odd, like, oh, you went from engineering to education work. And for me, it's not that surprising, because essentially I'm using the same exact skills I've been learning all along, just to a different problem. And it's just so funny, because on a daily basis, I'm talking to my colleagues about different hypotheses I have and trying to figure out different ways that we can test them in the field to try to solve education problems that are really complex in the US, but impact them on scale. So it's really exciting work that we're doing here at the College Board. And I hope, so that kind of concludes some of my background, but I hope you've been able to take away that research is really a common denominator for so many different fields. And essentially it teaches you how to solve problems. And those skills that help you solve problems are so transferable. And just as much as we emphasize learning the technical skills is very important in education, I don't want you to underestimate the soft skills that you're developing through doing research or doing project-based learning. Skills like problem solving, critical thinking, communication, teamwork. Those are skills that employers are looking for. And they're also key for young professionals to develop in this ever-changing world. We know that this is the age of information, and you can Google anything you want. You can learn stuff on YouTube in a matter of weeks, right? The thing that's going to distinguish people now in the workforce and in all these other programs they're applying to are your critical thinking and problem solving skills. They are essential to being flexible and adaptable in this ever-changing world. So that is to say, continue doing what you're doing, try to find opportunities to extracurriculars to build up some of these soft skills, and also I think staying curious and creative is really important in this whole process. And in that process, I'm warning you, you will make mistakes, you will fail. And that's just a part of the process. So I think it's really important for you to also think about building failure endurance, which people call grit, because I think that is the key to success, not only in academics, but also in life. And so keep that in mind as you continue to pursue your passions in research. Fail fast and fail often has been a motto that's worked really well for me. And just stay curious. And if you do all those things, I know you will impact the world. So with that, thanks so much for your attention today, and I look forward to hearing more about your projects.